Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Like every Wednesday, and it is a Wednesday, November the 10th. I'm joined by that handsome fella on the other side of me, Mr. Chip Chirimbus from the aplay.com. Chipper, a lot of interesting stuff we saw over the last 2 weeks. And here we are. This is our college football show. And what's your thoughts on what you saw in college football last week?
Well, things fortunately seem to return back to what we would consider normal. We had a great weekend with underdogs winning outright against ranked teams or unranked teams. Game of the year with Purdue over Michigan State. I'm really happy about that. Had a great Saturday. And the rankings, again, we said these things would work themselves out where they didn't. You said the Michigan State was a fraud. And obviously they went out and they couldn't handle it. And, they're still trying to keep that Cincinnati below that number 4 spot because their schedule in front of them isn't all that great. And how do you move them up if they're playing really weak teams and they're struggling even to get by against those inferior clubs? Yeah. So I don't think they want to move them up above there, even though there's going to be teams with one loss ahead of them. And they're going to move to the Big 12 before it's all over. And then we'll be able to see what they can do, but this isn't like basketball where you get 64 teams to get a chance. So logistically, it just doesn't work out.
And it's unfortunate because I really believe, I've said this for the last decade now, I really believe a 16-team playoff would be great in college football. If you go 1 against 16, 2 against 15, et cetera, and you go from there. You need to win 4 times to win it all. And, some of these smaller conferences or group of 5 teams like Cincinnati doesn't have to sweat out the process. If you win your conference, you're automatically in. And then the next best X amount of teams, So.
I can see 8, Ross. 16, I see problems with teams having to play the very next week against not knowing where they're going, about there being problems with, say, people in attendance, and you're talking about 4 complete weeks. And then once the team's eliminated, are they done? Well, the rest of it, you're narrowing it down. But I can see 8. I think 16 in football is difficult, but I'm a guy that said there'll never be NFL football in Las Vegas. So what the heck? And who knows if they're going to keep the team here after all the problems they're having anyway. So they have a bigger attrition off the field than they do on the field of the Raiders. When you get into Sin City, bad things happen.
And that's what they say, but everything does stay there, so we never hear about it.
Well, you're hearing about some stuff now. And,
exactly.
Releasing this guy this past week, he had, listen to this, 4 times in 1 month, different rent-a-cars that he crashed up. And nobody, can you imagine? I'm not talking about Ruggs. I'm talking about the other guy they just released for,
Oh, man.
If you have an Achilles heel, Las Vegas will expose it because it allows you all
I'm not laughing about Ruggs because that certainly isn't a laughing matter.
Las Vegas allows you all the freedom in the world. And if you have an Achilles heel, it'll be exploited. And that's all there is.
No doubt about it.
Cross that line,
And a lot of people's Achilles heel is gambling and not knowing what they're doing when they get there and thinking they're going to make a fortune. So that doesn't always work out, does it, Chip? Anyway, you're looking at the games last week. Finally, like you said, the books did well last week. We're talking about college football. We will be doing an NFL show shortly, folks. So keep an eye on that. And, you looked at the Purdue game even last week, +3. Yeah, I said Michigan State's a fraud. And to me, that line epitomized that. I mean, you're talking about a Michigan State team that was riding high off a win over then undefeated Michigan, catapulted themselves into the number 3 hole in the playoff selection committee's poll. And they were only a 3-point favorite on the road against Purdue. And quite frankly, Purdue spanked them 40-29. Michigan State did come back. Purdue jumped out to the big lead in that game. Michigan State came back, but then Purdue put them away. So, and then you mentioned the North Carolina game. I played that on the money line. They did drop to -2.5, but how is a 4-4 team a favorite over an undefeated number 10 team or number 12 team at the time, ranked team in the country? it's just not that easy.
It finally played out the way we.
Yeah, because a couple weeks before that, we had situations similar to that the week before, and the unranked teams who were favorite went 1-4 against the ranked team. So, I mean, I think I could speak for you when I say this. More times than not, we're going to be right about those games that look fishy, for lack of a better phrase, right, Chip? Right. So anyway, Chip coming off a big week in college football. He went 5-2. I'm coming off a weekend in which I went 5-1 in college football. But it's all about the free picks today, Chipper. What do you got for us?
All right. I love this game. It's a noon start. We have Oklahoma undefeated coming into Baylor, who has 2 losses. Now, Ross, Baylor just played Texas 2 weeks ago and Texas Christian. They're a Texas school. Texas Christian we had as an upset winner, and they ended up winning the game outright over the Bears. But I think the Bears have been peeking ahead to this Oklahoma side. All year long, we've been saying that this Oklahoma team is a bit overrated, or they haven't really reached the status or say the quality of play that we anticipated or expected out of them. That's why they're undefeated. I guess they're ranked 7th or 8th or 6th or wherever they are, because who knows where they're putting them, but they're not putting them in the top 4 right now. That's for sure.
No.
And Baylor had some impressive wins. They had some big, strong wins. I think last week, playing against them is one of the stronger things we did, because they were in a bad spot. They had, 2 big in-state school rivals to go up against. And now this week, I think they recoup, and I think it's Oklahoma that's in trouble on the road. I've been giving you a couple of big-time winners here the last couple of weeks, and I think Baylor is one of them again this Saturday.
Yeah, Oklahoma, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, you could chime in with your feedback, but I believe going into this week, they were ranked number 9 in the college football playoff rankings, and they're undefeated. So you think Cincinnati's got a complaint? Oklahoma fans are crying foul right now. And you know what? Well, bottom line, go ahead, Chip.
Well, I was going to say, they know that Oklahoma is going to have a bigger conference championship playoff game than Cincinnati will. So they don't mind leaving it there. If they have to beat Oklahoma State's really good. I mean, I'm surprised at how strong they are. And, I mean, the way they manhandled West Virginia last week, I really was taken back by that, because I didn't anticipate that happening. And they played Iowa State tough, and that's the team they lost to. And they could have won that game. They really could have turnover late in their own back.
Yeah, they only lost by 3, if I recall. So, I mean, that's a good team, Oklahoma State. And again, Oklahoma, to me, in years past, it's been their defense that's been a fraud. This year, I don't think their offense is anywhere near as explosive or as good as they've been in years past with the quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield under center. So we'll see. They have to play the games, but I'm not a big believer of Oklahoma. I agree with you, Chip. And Baylor, by the way, I think they've won every game at home, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, but I know one thing: they did upset Iowa State early in the year as a home underdog as well. I'm going to go with Penn State at Michigan at Penn State, Chip. Similar situation to what we've been talking about over the last few weeks. And you saw what happened last week. The tide has turned, and I think it will continue to turn this week. Penn State, a 6-3 team, unranked in the college football playoff poll, -1.5 against a Michigan team that's right now number 6, I believe, with 1 loss. Yet Penn State is a 1.5-point favorite in this game. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to the average person. And most people will look at that and say, how could Penn State be a favorite against Michigan? I'm going to jump all over Michigan. They're a better team. They got the better record and are higher ranked. Well, if that was that easy, then Las Vegas wouldn't have any sports books, would they? This is also, a prime example of what we just discussed with the Purdue game and the North Carolina over Wake Forest last week. And I'm going to keep on that direction this week, Chip. I'm going to take Penn State here. They're currently -1.5, folks. What I would suggest, if they are a small favorite, okay, at the time that you place the bet, I would go to the money line because, they're going to be somewhere around 120, 125, or even less on the money line. And we don't hesitate to lay that in baseball. Why hesitate to lay it in football? So I'm going to suggest you go Penn State on the money line as a small favorite. Now, if they happen to go to a dog, of course, take the points. If they're going to give you something, take it. In any event, Chip, you got a big slate of games in college football coming up this week. Tell the folks all about it and where they could find you.
All right, Russ, this is our time of the year. And last year, I told everyone I was having 3 big games early to build your bankroll and roll it over to my game of the year. The game of the year was an easy winner with Purdue over Michigan State. And by the way, we swept those 3 games. 3-0 with a build your bankroll builder. So we're going to do it again. 3 noon games, and I have my NCAA blowout game of the year. Starts in the late afternoon. But log on, get the buy links, and get the big time winners from the early games and roll it over. I'm also going to have an afternoon delight with 3 really great plays in the middle of the day. And of course, we're going to have our Saturday night madness. So, but I'm telling you to get there early. Give me a call at 702-931-CHIP. 702-931-CHIP. That's the best way. Just get a hold of me. We'll work things out like that. And you can talk and actually understand what I'm using and why I'm using it and which games we're playing. So it's been great. It's, we struggled there in and out, won a best bet, lost best bet. Now 7-3 with the last 10 NCAA best bets off a game of the year winner with Purdue, have another NCAA blowout game of the year Saturday. I love this game. I love this game. We've already discussed it. So we won't say when it starts or who's it involves, because that would just give away this winner.
I will say that I'm on the same game as well. I don't know if I'll have it ranked as high as Chip does, but his record speaks for itself. I was 5-1 last weekend in college football, like I alluded to. My 3-game early package that all went at noon. I swept, went 3-0, had Mississippi State as a winner later in the day as well. So it was a good day, and college football is going to be another big week for me. I'm going to crush the books once again. I'll have 5 plays on Saturday, possibly a play in the Pittsburgh game against North Carolina on Thursday that I'm really looking forward to, Chip, because you got 2 dynamic quarterbacks in Kenny Pickett,
great matchup,
and Sam Howell, and 2 teams that score a lot of points. We'll see. North Carolina hasn't fared very well on the road. In Pittsburgh, 7-2 and a couple of disappointing losses by the Panthers. Otherwise, we'd be talking about a team that was vying for the college.
Don't you think there's going to be easily over 1,000 yards offense total in this game?
You would think, right? But the win, the thing that I'm concerned with in that regard is there's going to be a steady rain throughout, showers they're calling it, which usually means intermittent. Yeah. That doesn't bother me as much as 12-mile-an-hour winds. Okay, so having said that, North Carolina does run the ball awfully well. So they're not as reliant in their passing game as Pittsburgh is, this Kenny Pickett, what a year he's having, So I'm looking forward to that game. Friday night, we have some games as well too, Chipper. I think you have a game on Friday night you're going to be using.
Yeah, I definitely do. I have a best bet Friday night, and you're going to just have to tune in and get it then because I'm chopping at the bit right now. I told you we went over the slate, and it just seems like some of the games that we're missing where we were looking for matchups that we couldn't find are all there this week. There's a plethora of games out there just jumping out at us. You mentioned it. I mentioned this when we talked off the air that they just seem to come right at us. I mean, Yeah. And we were looking at the same thing. So I feel good about that. I feel confident that the great minds think alike.
Brilliant minds, Chip. Not great, brilliant, man. Anybody could have a great mind. Not everybody has a brilliant mind. In any event, Chipper, folks, don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. And these free picks are all fine and dandy. We always try to win for you. We've had a pretty good year in terms of picking free winners. But, we make our living by you paying us for our advice. And chipwins.com is where you'll find Chip. rbwins.com is where you'll find me. Both sites, you pay a little bit, to make a lot. Until the next time, folks, good luck and God bless.